Okay, so this is a video to make sure that we know how to sign in to our Mesquite portal. So on the Chromebooks in the classroom, the students are automatically logged in most of the time to their Google account. So this should help us get logged into all that stuff that we need to get logged into. So the first things they're going to do is type in Mesquite ISD portal into Google or into their search bar at the top. And when that pulls up, it will pull up with a web page that looks like this, portal.mesquiteisd.org. You can also type that in directly, portal.mesquiteisd.org. From there, mine's going to automatically log in because I'm already logged in, but they'll need to put in their password, and then they have to know their code or their login image. Most of them should know this from my classroom. If they don't, then they're going to need to go to an email, and they'll have to send an email to the Mesquite ISD help desk. So the way you can do that is, again, to Google Mesquite ISD help desk, and it actually comes up with the email directly. So you can email helpdesk@mesquiteisd.org. Copy that by pressing Control-C and going to create a new email. Control there, and then you want to let them know that they need to reset portal login image. Let them know your name. Let them know your student ID, full name, by the way, student ID, and then they should get back to you at some point. But that's one way to go ahead and reset. Now, once you get logged in from there, pretty much all the applications we're going to use are on here. The only one that isn't is Edpuzzle. Edpuzzle is easily found if you just type in edpuzzle.com. And also, it is in the inside the slideshow that I shared on the students' Google Drives. So all of my videos are on here. They have my name on them, and they should be able to log in using their Mesquite ISD. So I think part of the issue with this is that whenever I'm going to go ahead and log out and show you. So when you get to Edpuzzle, it's going to look like this. They need to click Login, and then click I'm a student, and then if they don't already have an account set up, they need to sign up, I think. So that's here. I'm a student. They're going to sign in using Google. That's usually up here. Sign in with Google. Click on that, and then it should pop up here that they can use their account. It'll have the Mesquite ISD logo. If it does not pop up, so you can see that I have some other personal addresses on here, but if the one for Mesquite ISD doesn't pop up, they're going to have to actually go and what they can do is register a new account or add account. So again, that's down here at the bottom. They add their account by clicking on it. They're going to type in their Mesquite ISD email address, and they're going to click next. It's going to take them through some different ways to log in. They'll have to use their password, probably their password should be their password from the portal, etc. Now, since we're on here, let's go ahead and talk about where to find the textbook. So once they're in the portal, in the Mesquite ISD portal, the textbook can be found on this red icon. News ELA is over here. News ELA, click on that. They can find assignments I give them on that. Other information, if they need to look up other information, right here on the Find Information tab, if you open it up, you can see Britannica Middle School right here. And there's a lot of other sites we can use. Google Meet is also on here, so we've been using that. So if they need tutoring help, I'm offering tutoring sessions every day of the week from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. and also by request. So if they need help some other time, and they can always ask me for that. Google Classroom is also here. This is where the assignments will be posted. So make sure that they're logging in daily to see what assignments I have on here. We have used Google Classroom the entire year. The students use it almost every day, and they should know where to find the information for the most part. This is my personal one. I need to log out of that. So here's my teacher one, and you can see here students are in here. Due Monday is a cattle and cotton slideshow. So what that looks like is right here. So they need to, this is kind of like Facebook, right? Or anything else. There's posts. So I post things on here, giving information, and then communications. And then if they need to look at the classwork or other people, grades. I don't usually put grades on here. I usually just upload them to Skyward. But we'll see how that goes. I may end up changing that. I may put them on both. So classwork tab, if they open that up, this will give them the first thing that's due or the next thing that's due. So as of right now, I have cattle and cotton, and here is a list of instructions. So they should be able to open up this slideshow and this document right here. And the way that I've set it up is that each student should have their own copy of this. So when they open this up, it's going to look like this. And since I'm already here and I'm already working on, we're already at just 6 minutes, 7 minutes, I'm going to go through quickly what this should look like. So again, each of these sections will have some instructions or some sort of something on there that they can work. So I'm going to go ahead and present this, see what that looks like. So cotton and cattle. The first thing is a Padlet.com word wall. Padlet.com is something we've worked with, again, for a few months now, and they should know where to go for this if they've tried to pay attention at all with this. And they're going to add the vocabulary words, find related images or GIFs that are actually relevant to the image. They're going to add a sentence. They need to understand the definition. I don't want them to necessarily just add the definition. I want them to use the word in a sentence. And I want them to use these vocabulary words down here. Also, they can use, by the way, this asterisk, the little stars, asterisks, don't need to be typed in as part of their vocabulary words. Those are just important words that they definitely need to focus on some more. Okay, so next slide, they're going to do a do now, which is something that we do in class. Again, almost every day they use Google Classroom to use this. This one happens to be one where they're going to read the scenario, and then they're going to include these things down here. I do not want them to look up the information. I want them to tell me what they already know about cowboys and that sort of thing. So on the next slide, because they have their own copy, they're going to click on here, and they're going to edit the slide with their answer from the previous slide. So here's the question or the scenario. They're going to take it and respond here. Next one is a video. They're going to click on this. This is where it's going to go to Edpuzzle. If they don't have a computer or it's someone else is using the computer, they can always go and type in this link. The link has to be typed in exactly as it appears. So if it has a capital B, like it does here, then you have to type that in. If it has a lowercase letter, you have to type it in. Make sure that you are typing in these things back here too. So again, working on that. Cowboy song analysis. They're going to go and listen to the song. I did not put a short URL on here, but if they go and they search for Cowboy Song by Garth Brooks, the Cowboy Song, on YouTube, they can find it on there easily. It should be the first one that pops up. I want them to read the lyrics. Again, I gave a short link for that. And then here's the questions. So this is actually taken from a document that I was going to assign and give them another copy on their Google Drive, but I decided it would be better to have them actually just answer and respond on here. Now notice this is a pretty tight fit on here, so they might end up having to actually make their own make a new slide, and I can show you how to do that right now. So in order to make a new slide, if they need to have more room, all you do is come over here on the slideshow, you right click and go to new slide or duplicate slide. Either one is good, and then basically they can just go back and continue answering the questions. Next thing they're going to do. All right, next thing is online textbook reading. I'm sorry this is over 10 minutes, but I want to make sure that we know what we're doing. So the online textbook reading is, again, on that textbook on the portal. So chapter 19, lessons 1 through 3, cattle and cotton. The way that they're going to access that is to go here to the portal, click on the textbook. This will pop up on their phones. So if they can't use the computer again, then they can always pull this up on their phone. And then of course it's just going to have their student edition here. Click on that. And then over here in the middle, there's a chapter section. In this case, we're doing chapter 19. They can go to the chapter opener and do all of these. Lesson 1, click go. Clicking go is important because it won't go to the lesson otherwise. They're going to read just like we would in the in class. If they need to, they can always have it actually read to them by clicking the headphone icon up here. So if they click on that, it'll actually open up and start reading to them by pressing play. Important vocabulary words are here. If they can't find the information somewhere else, then they can always look in here. Down here is where they click for the next page, etc. Okay, so this is where they're going to read. Now, you'll notice on here I gave them a paper, just cattle and cotton activity. What this is back on Google Classroom, there is another activity I gave, just cattle and cotton. They should have their own copy of this. I've had some students who said they don't. Let me make sure right now that they do. I'll just go in here and click edit and see. And it looks like I gave each student a copy. So you can see down here they should have their own copies of these. All right, so when they open this up, they can type on here their information as they read. I really prefer them to actually have about one sentence for each section. So you see on here, these are red sections. So as they read, they need to be able to write down write down their notes, write down a summary of the information they read. And that's for each section. They should have at least one sentence. That's pretty much all they're doing here is writing down the information. And then they're going to summarize each individual part that they wrote. And then they're going to combine all of the summaries into one summary and write that down here. Again, they're not going to hurt anything by typing on it and experimenting. So in this case, though, they can actually type on here, and it will type on the lines. So that is what they should do, is type on that. Okay, whenever they are finished with everything, they need to go back to Google Classroom. And I don't have the buttons on here because I'm in the teacher mode, but they should have a button on the assignment that says turn in. And because these are attached already and I gave them copies, it should just basically be a matter of clicking turn in, and it'll be there. So I really hope this helped. To recap, they need to make sure that they are logged into their Google account. They may have to add that to your computer or on their phone. If they have that already added, they can access most things on the portal. And I have tutoring sessions on Google Meet every day for the foreseeable future at 3 to 4. And I may from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. And I may add more sessions if needed, or they can also schedule another session with me. Thank you so much, and hope you have a great day.